Hi, I'm Jay Goldman and you are watching Mr. Mobile on Butterscotch.com. Today we're going to take a look at a really fun iPhone application called GrooveMaker. We're particularly going to take a look at the hip-hop version, but there are a whole bunch of other ones in the App Store. This is an app from IK Media. There's a free version of it in the App Store called GrooveMaker Free. That'll get you the actual application, one song, an additional song when you register, and then you'll be able to pop in 125 loops that are included, 113 megs of samples. So that'll get you a chance to sort of play around with it before you decide that you want to buy. If you decide that you do want to go ahead and buy it, there are a bunch of different genres included in there. We're taking a look at the hip-hop version, which is $9.99. Again, you'll find it in the App Store, and download links for all of those applications are on Butterscotch.com in the show notes for this episode. The hip-hop version includes 4 songs, so those are sort of the basics that you can start building up from. You get an additional one when you register, and I'll explain that in a moment. You get 350 loops. Those are things that you can place on top of it, different samples that you can keep looping and creating different songs out of, and 186 megs of samples, so megabytes worth of music that's in there. The first time you launch it, it's going to ask you to register, and it's definitely worth it because they give you another free song. It also allows you to sort of share creations and log into their website and purchase additional songs if you're looking for other ones. So I would go ahead and do the quick registration system. It doesn't take very long. It's built directly into the application. You pick a song off of the main page, that gets you into the mixer mode, and this is the basis for where everything happens. You won't hear anything right away, but these mix buttons down the side allow you to start the process. So there's a bunch of different ones in the hip-hop version. There's a random, there's sort of an instrumental track, there's a percussive intensive track, and then there's a mild track. You hit one of those, it will randomly generate a new song for you based on the song that you're in and allow you to start jumping in and making adjustments to it. In the bottom left corner, you'll find a master volume control. You can tap on that at any time and then use the volume slider on the right side to bring the volume down or up. That's for the entire track. Tap again on the master volume, makes it go away. On the bottom right side, you'll see a flashing button that says tempo. That's actually how you adjust the tempo for the entire track, and you can adjust it just by tapping on it. So if you tap a few times, that will actually, 3 times, will actually adjust the tempo up or down. If you want more exact control, you can hold down your finger on the tempo button. That will bring up a tempo wheel on the side, much like a DJ might actually use, and then you can use your finger on that to slide it up and down, or the plus and minus buttons to adjust the tempo from there. Individually, the 8 positions in your song can hold different samples at different times. And you can see the sample that it's currently got, and you can watch the waveform that's associated with the whole track at the bottom, or the lights going up and down next to each one of those positions. You can change those by tapping on one of the positions and then tapping on the track button. And that will allow you to do a bunch of different things in here. So one of them is you can empty this out. You don't want the sample anymore. You can lock it, and then if you hit the mix buttons down the side, it will create a new random mix but leave that particular sample in place. You can hit solo mode if you just want to hear that in your headphones or from the speaker. You can hit mute if you don't want to hear it at all, so that will actually cut that sample out. And then you can adjust the volume for the sample on the right side, or its pan if you want it in the left or right side of your headphones. Coming out of track mode, you can go into loops mode, which will allow you to adjust what's playing in each one of those positions. So hit the loops button at the bottom, pick one of the positions so that it will highlight it, and then pan the list down the right side, and that will show you all kinds of different samples that you can pop into there. So you pick one of them, it will immediately go into the track at the spot where you're in right now, and then it will start to play in that position, and you can then go into the track and make fine-tune adjustments to it. When you're happy with your groove and you're really enjoying what you've composed, you can tap on this groove snap button at the bottom, and it will indicate that you've now added another one to it, so the first one will be 1. Then you can go and keep making a whole bunch of other adjustments, and then you can snap it again. If you try and snap it twice, it will tell you that it's already been saved, so don't worry about that. Once you've snapped a bunch of them, you can go into the sequence mode on the left side, and you can start dragging those different grooves that you've made into a longer sequence and make a longer composition. It'll tell you the total time of it there, and you can adjust sort of where they're placed, and you can put 3 1s and then a 2 or whatever you'd like. When you're happy with your total sequence, tap on the export button. It will actually go and sort of create a single sound file for that whole thing, and then will pop up an alert on the screen that lets you know that it's created the export. That alert has a little IP address in it. You can take that IP address, go to your desktop computer and pop it in. It's actually launched a little web browser that's running in your iPhone, so as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, and you won't be able to export unless you are, you can browse to that web browser from your computer by putting in the IP address, and it'll give you a download screen where you can listen to the tracks and download them from there. So they came up with quite an elegant way to get the tracks off of here without requiring you to actually plug in, and as long as you're on Wi-Fi, that'll work. So GrooveMaker's a lot of fun. You can sit for hours making up little grooves and listening to them. Definitely worth the $9.99. It's definitely worth it if you're a musician and this is something that you actually do, although you may find yourself frustrated by the lack of fine level control. You are, of course, limited to using the different samples and stuff that they've got in there. You can't add your own. But that said, if you're a hobbyist or you're an amateur musician, you're not doing this professionally, it's a lot of fun to play around with. You can actually create some pretty compelling beats with it. I was really enjoying it, and I would say it's worth the $9.99. I'm Jay Goldman. This has been Mr. Mobile on Butterscotch.com. Thanks for watching. See some back episodes on our website, and we'll catch you next time.